Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, a conversation with Tim Lust, the CEO of the National Grain Sorghum Association. Kansas is the #1 producer of sorghum in the U.S., and we talk about the marketing opportunities and how things continue to look good for this water-sipping crop. We also have features from Kansas Corn, Kansas Wheat, and the Kansas Farm Bureau, and our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association, and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
In agricultural news from agview.net, Hildebrand Farms Dairy of Junction City has been named International Dairy Food Association 2022 Innovative Dairy Farmer of the Year. Hildebrand, owned and operated by brothers David and his wife Kathy, and Alan and his wife Mary. Alan's daughter, Melissa Hildebrand Reed, serves as the operations manager. David's son, Todd, assists with crop enterprise and the day-to-day operations. The dairy has 9 varieties of milk, a couple of varieties of butter in more than 150 stores throughout the state of Kansas. In case you missed it, Dennis McKinney has been appointed FSA State Executive Director for Kansas. He's a Kansas farmer, cattle producer, whose family farm is operating in southern Kiowa County, northern Comanche County. He has served as a Kiowa County Commissioner from 1989 to 1992, then was appointed to the Kansas House of Representatives, where he served until 2009. At that time, he was appointed as the 38th State Treasurer of the state of Kansas. He is now resident of Greensburg and has served as a member of the board of the Kiowa County Memorial Hospital, as well as the Kansas Historical Foundation. Well, the general sign up for the Conservation Reserve Program is open now until March 11th. Producers and landowners enrolled 4.6 million acres into CRP sign up in 2021, including 2.5 million acres in the largest grassland CRP sign up in history. There are currently 22.1 million acres enrolled, and FSA is aiming to reach the 25.5 million acre cap statutorily set by fiscal year 2022. You can find out more information on this by contacting your local FSA office. That's Ag News from agview.net. Stay with us, more in a moment.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Joining us now is Tim Lust, who is the CEO of National Sorghum Producers. And Tim spent some time in Kansas at the Commodity Classic. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Let's talk about this sorghum. We do some radio things every week, and I think every week I couldn't think of any more exciting news, but there's always something new. Sorghum is still a very hot commodity.
Certainly still, seeing really strong demand both domestically and internationally, and so excited with a big crop, 25% increase in crop size last year, and still able to really see that demand. Certainly, crop prices are there as we look at next year. We haven't quite seen that message as much, but there's a lot of factors going on. I think we'll see that come as we get a little further along in the spring.
The world, especially China, wants U.S. sorghum. We get those weekly reports, and still maybe a bump here or two, but overall still strong demand.
Certainly, I think when we look at obviously a core portion of that goes into the alcohol market in China, and that market just continues to grow and grow and grow, and so certainly underpins base. We actually have a little bit of world competition. Australia and Argentina actually both have a decent sorghum crop, which rarely do they both have a good sorghum crop at the same time. So have a little bit of competition, but we're still certainly a dominant, significant supplier there, and that's really showing.
On the domestic side, you and others have worked so hard to get that crop insurance numbers to where it matches pretty strong with corn, because I know that may have been a hookup with some farmers, but getting closer to parity, if you will.
Certainly, when you go into dry years like this, that's what is that insurance guarantee is a real question. And so really proud of the work, producer leaders, and we worked with RMA for a number of years, got formulas in the 08 Farm Bill originally, and then got that improved later on. But we're at 99.6% of corn, so effectively we'll probably be 2 cents below corn in terms of what our insurance price guarantee for 22 will be this year. So that will give some producers in parts of the state where we're going into a really dry start some extra protection that certainly provides value. That's the highest it's ever been. For a number of years we were at 95%, and even the last couple of years more in that 96% range. So 99.6 is a big jump.
It absolutely is. We're going to talk about things like kind of the outlook and some other factors that are playing into where sorghum is. But let's quickly, before we go to our first break, we're back to that conversation again about battle for acres. But we did see an increase here in Kansas and other places, and sorghum continues to be tried in maybe that non-traditional sorghum belt.
Absolutely, and we look at cost of production and availability of products, and those are two big drivers that continue to see sorghum acres, be very competitive going into this next year.
Tim Lust, who is the CEO of the National Sorghum.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, Building the future at kansascorn.com.
And Tim Lust, the CEO of the National Grain Sorghum Producers, is joining us. He was in Kansas. This Commodity Classic is where we caught up with him. So, Tim, let's talk about Congress. We've heard those words, Farm Bill. It's going to be here before you know it, here in the next few weeks now. There's going to have those discussions, but obviously those discussions have been taken off on the sidelines for a bit. What are you hearing about this next Farm Bill? Will it be status or quo, or are we going to do a lot of changing because the administration is talking an awful lot about climate and sustainability?
Well, you know, this is the time before farm bills start where you got to separate the policy from the politics. And so this is the time where a lot of good policy work needs to be done. And, you know, I'm sure there will be some hearings. I don't think those would be what they might normally be with the expectation of leadership changing, certainly in the House this fall. And so, you know, there will be a different process and a little slower process perhaps in terms of that. But the same policy work really needs to be done as how is existing programs working? What does the congressional baseline look like? And it doesn't look good. It's really dropping, and that's going to make it hard to do a good farm bill. So, you know, going to have that discussion of what does that mean? Inflation. We could write an amazing farm bill, but if inflation is going like this, and there's not a mechanism built into that bill to raise those levels each year, then it won't be worth much. Right. So, you know, there's some things that are unique to this time period that we're going to really need to focus on from a policy standpoint. We continue to work with our leadership to have those policy items done and be prepared for the political process in 23.
Renewables, renewable fuel, ethanol, that has been a very long process. We know sorghum is still a major player in that. Will we get this, if I dare use the word, solved, or will we finally get on some solid footing moving forward?
We need to. It's such a critical component to our industry and to U.S. agriculture, and the domestic biofuels industry is so important. And there's a lot of uncertainty. Obviously, the E15 change is something that is critical, and knowing how we get to E15 this summer is going to be really important from a demand side. And certainly when we look at long term, moving into 23, EPA has a lot more authority than they've had, and so how that policy plays out there, renewable diesel, what happens there? There's just some huge items there from a policy standpoint that could have a lot of impact on farmer profitability. So we have to be actively engaged in those, and frankly, agriculture needs some wins.
Quickly, just on the checkoff, as far as research dollars and investment made in some of the new innovations, can you touch just briefly on that?
So certainly the National Checkoff had their meeting in December, and a couple of major investment areas there. You know, one that's on one hand not exciting, but it's physiology. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, we've learned all of this over the last 10 years about all these genes, but yet we don't necessarily know how they interact, and if we're going to raise yields in sorghum, we've got to know and understand how some of the things really work. And certainly some of the changes that we've seen in other crops have been done through that physiology side. So big investment there. And then quality attributes, high protein, waxy, some quality attributes in sorghum that really will help us in some of the specialty areas. So a lot of focus there.
Tim, thanks again for coming to Kansas. Appreciate the update.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Tim Lust has joined us, the CEO of the National National Grain Sorghum Association. So stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
I'm Brent Rogers. I am currently the Kansas Corn Growers Association president. I live in Hoxie, Kansas, which is up in the northwest part of the state. I represent that northwest district. Started my second term as president as of the annual meeting yesterday. We've had our Kansas Corn Symposium yesterday and the Classic today. Touched upon some policy issues, touched upon some things going on in the industry as far as corn markets. Probably the biggest thing on producers' minds right now is input costs and availability of inputs. Whether it be your parts, whether it be your fertilizers or your chemicals. There's a shortage of a lot of those things due to COVID, due to a number of things. You know, we've been blessed that commodity prices have been high in the last six months and continue to look like they're going to stay that way. Our biggest concern is if things on the commodity side take a sudden abrupt fall and we're stuck with these high input costs, the situation it's going to put some producers' balance sheets in. So those are some of the things we're looking at going forward. You know, ethanol is always our key component. The Next Generation's Fuels Act, which is just starting to take foothold in Washington, where that's probably our biggest, ethanol, continue to grind the corn.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn. For livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Jill helped me develop a passion for agriculture that I didn't know was deep inside of me. She taught me so many things that I didn't know I needed to know. And throughout this entire trip overseas, I really got to see her legacy shine through each of us. And it was very evident that she impacted us each in a deep way that will live forever.
The things that have excited me the most in the Caston Fellows program this year is the time of reflection and learning about myself through the books that we've read, through the experiences we've had, and most importantly, the discussions amongst our group.
Caston Fellows program helped me to further develop my ability to think outside the box, to be open to new experiences and learn about systems worldwide.
Through this program of Caston Fellows, I have met other leaders from across the state and had the opportunity to have some great conversations about what Farm Bureau and other parts of our communities look like going forward, and that sometimes that may mean disrupting the status quo at times, and that's not a bad thing.
Coming out of this experience, I'm excited to take that fresh and excited ownership that we've seen here throughout the trip home and really think about problems in a way as if they haven't been here generationally, as if we're approaching them with fresh eyes and that it's okay to take risks and to fail. And I hope that will make me a better leader because I'll be more courageous, but also potentially have more pride in helping to address the issues, because they're things that I really care about and that I can make a difference because I'm looking at them with a new lens of leadership.
Thank you, Jill, for being an inspiration to not only those of us who got to know you, but to Kansas Farm Bureau, so they would start a program like this for future generations to become achievers and leaders.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Kansas farmers once again proved how informed management can maximize yield potential year in and year out during the 2021 National Wheat Yield Contest. National and state winners were recently announced by the National Wheat Foundation, which organizes the competition. According to Justin Gilpin, Kansas Wheat CEO, the National Wheat Yield Contest encourages growers to maximize the management of their wheat crop to improve wheat yields and quality. Kansas wheat producers continually demonstrate they are up to the challenge by adopting new practices that utilize the full potential of top-of-the-line wheat genetics. This year's contest included 63 wheat growers from 20 different states, offering producers a chance to compete against their counterparts from across the country and learn how to better improve their production. The contest was split into winter wheat and spring wheat and then further divided into dryland and irrigated production. In the dryland winter wheat category, Tyler Ediger from Meade took the top Kansas slot with a final yield of 125.66 bushels per acre. The entry also earned him the 5th place Benbuster Award in the National Winter Wheat Dryland category. Darwin Ediger, Tyler's father, was the 2nd place Kansas winner with a final yield of 123.48 bushels per acre. 3rd place went to Matt Jager from Mineola with a final yield of 122.47 bushels per acre. The entry also won him 5th place nationally based on the percent increase over the county average. For more details on the winning entries and to review the official rules and entry details, visit yieldcontest.wheatfoundation.org.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Imagine turning soybean oil, used cooking oils, and waste animal fats into fuel so amazing it drives U.S. jobs and our economy forward. Learn more about biodiesel at americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
5 advanced beef cattle care and health training sessions will be hosted by the Kansas Beef Council during February and March. These checkoff-funded sessions will provide beef producers with up-to-date standards and technologies to improve animal welfare and food safety. The trainings will be led by Kansas State University veterinarian A.J. Tarpoff. Dates and locations are February 24th at Mankato Livestock, March 8th at Fort Scott Livestock Market, March 10th at Harrington Livestock Commission, March 15th at the Pratt County Fairgrounds, and March 29th at the Fisher Community Center in Hiawatha. All the meetings will begin at 6 p.m. Producers and veterinarians will receive beef quality assurance training and information relevant to the cow-calf, stocker, and feedlot segments. The information will include animal husbandry, best management practices, and advanced animal care training. In addition, low-stress cattle handling techniques will be reviewed. All producers and veterinarians who attend will earn beef quality assurance certification that is valid for 3 years.
Each workshop is free of charge and includes a complimentary meal. To register for one of the sessions, go to kansasbeef.org/BQA 1 week prior to the date of the event.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Good day. I'm Derek Hermish with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Ernest Hemingway had a famous quote from his novel, The Sun Also Rises, that I think on from time to time. The quote is, "Change happens two ways, gradually, then all of a sudden." For the past year, we have heard rumblings of an increased demand on the horizon for biodiesel. In that same time frame, we have seen a bevy of new crush plants announced to be built or expanded. While we enjoyed higher prices last summer, the trend in price was lower from May till November. Recently, however, from January 18th to February 7th of 2022, March soybean futures rallied $2.40 from top to bottom, while new crop November 22 beans rallied $1.48 in that same time frame. The sudden change in prices here recently is given credit to a continued drought problem in portions of South America. But the fundamental long-term shift to an increase in biodiesel demand is the gradual change that still exists. This biodiesel expansion feels very similar to the surge in ethanol production back in 2007 and 2008. That was also accompanied by a boom in corn prices and general commodity prices at the time. That boom was followed by a roller coaster of prices for the next several years, up and down, and an eventual bust that was exhausted by a generational drought in 2012. Change does indeed happen two ways, gradually, then all of a sudden. See that you are mentally prepared for both. I'm Derek Hermish. Have a good day.
Well, that's our show this week. You can be social with us at KansasAgReport.net or our social media channels. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Imagine turning soybean oil, used cooking oils, and waste animal fats into fuel so amazing it drives U.S. jobs and our economy forward. Learn more about biodiesel at americasadvancedbiofuel.com.